Romans chapter 4 and verse 25. Jesus Christ was delivered for our offenses and raised again for our justification. So I want to talk for just a little while on this business of Jesus being delivered. The word delivered literally means given over to, with the concept of a yielding to, and put in prison. He says, for this cause came I into the world. And the cause he's talking about is not only his death, but for whom? You. He was sent there by the Father. Don't ever for one moment forget that God the Father sent his Son to become death for you. He placed him there. That's an awesome thing to think of God the Father placing his Son there. Jesus says to the disciples, y'all are going to all leave me, but I'm not going to be alone. My Father will be there with me. And all the way through that trial and all the way through being put on the cross, God the Father was there with them. And in all of that, he was penalized, not for himself, but for us. He did not die for any infraction he had done, any sin, anything at all, but he died as the only sacrifice that could set us free and save us from sin. And he's offered there on that cross for us. Don't for 1 minute forget it. All the day, every day, let this be in your mind. Jesus Christ was offered there on that cross for me. He knows what you're going through. He cares what you're going through. He's leading you where you're going. And he loves you. Then secondly, I want us to deal with raised for our justification. And we need to go into the Old Testament in our minds and think about the sacrifice of the lamb and etc. And as the high priest came out, it showed that the sacrifice was accepted. As Christ came out of that grave, out of that tomb, it shows that the sacrifice for you is accepted. One thing that you can be guaranteed of and assured of all the days of your life, Jesus Christ, having been raised, his sacrifice for you is accepted, personally, for you. That means you're freed now and forever. Point number 3 in your outline tonight. These things aren't always clear in the King James, but look at verse 25 again. Delivered for our, not everybody's. It's a particular delivery. God the Father had you in mind. If you're ever to know Christ, he had you in mind when he was delivering his Son to die. Not just many or any, particular by name. So particular by name that as Christ died and entered into the sanctuary as a picture in the Old Testament, he prayed the name of each one before the Father. pled his name and his blood for them before the Father during the 3 days of his death. It's the Father's choice, it's not yours. Anybody who knows the gospel knows that's a great point. We wouldn't choose him. One of our hymns says, "'Tis not that I did choose thee, for that would never be." And that's so. But now you are in the family, all by the blood of Christ. And so I want us to think, and this is where I was coming to tonight, I want you to stop and think. In this life, I'll bet most of you could detail a gift that you've been given that you liked. None like this gift. None like this gift at all. No price like the price of Christ's blood to save your soul. That's love. Then I close with asking you this. Is this attractive to you? Then bow before him and plead his name. That'll help you.